Alright, welcome to another edition of Emerald TV. Today we are with a prominent police officer, SP Edafe Bright. In Delta State, Edafe Bright is a name. It's a name known in the police force. At least he has recorded his name in the state. Every time we see him on Facebook talking about crime, after the fourth crime in the state. And we can see a lot of awards on his table. He has done so well and we led to these awards. So this afternoon, we want to listen to him. I want to hear from him how far the crime fighting is going in Delta State. And then we are going to look at issue of police is your friend. Everywhere we hear police is your friend. But people over there, outside there, somehow they look at police, are they really our friend? But from their end, they say police is our friend. They will tell us how police is our friend. And then we will also bring some other questions. Issue of police brutality, and we also hear of bail is free. But again, people pay money to get bail. And you will tell us how bail is free and what people should do in all this issue. So yes, sir, let's meet you, sir.
Okay, I am SP Edafe Bright. I'm the Police Public Relations Officer for Delta State Police Command.
Yes, police always tell us, especially people in the office, police is your friend. But our friends over there, the people outside the police force, the citizens, the civilians, they find difficult agreeing with this police is your friend. How do you convince them?
Okay, I think people tend to misunderstand the term police is your friend. God is our helper. God is our helper. That does not mean that God will just come down and start doing your stuff for you. That is how you can also relate it to police is your friend. What makes police your friend? It's not about calling you and say, let us meet at Don and Masters, or let us meet at this or that. Let's have a drink. No. A friend is someone you can call on when the chips are down. And I believe our viewers also understand this, that indeed a true friend is someone you can actually call on when the chips are down. The police is almost like a last resort. Though they said it is the judiciary, but the judiciary most time rely on what the police must have done. What makes police your friend and helper? If you on your way here, in fact, thankfully, we have some press people who are also here. They have come because of one issue or the other, and it is because they believe that they can get help from the police. That is why they are here. That is one way police is your friend. Another thing that we need to know is that when they say police is your friend, what it means is very simple. When there are issues that borders on your safety, security-wise, your best bet is the police. You don't even have a choice. I always tell people you don't have choice, but to understand and believe and know that the police is your friend. I one time asked some persons, it was more of, they turned it to a debate, and I brought 5 persons out, and I told them, if you know police is not your friend, answer. About 5 of them, all of them answered actually. But I now said those that are bold enough to come and prove it should come out. So they came out. When they came out, they didn't know where I was going to. So I now ask, if you are going from wherever you are to Ugbolu and you meet a kidnapper, just a kidnap gang, and they tell you they want to keep that kidnap gang there, you go to Ugbolu. Are you very sure that if you meet those kidnappers, you will get to Ugbolu? All 5 of them said no. I now said, if we keep 10 police checkpoints on that same Ugbolu road, let us agree they may insult you, they may shout at you, they may do things that you don't like. But will you eventually get home? All 5 of them said yes. And I said, okay. Should we remove the police and replace with just one checkpoint of kidnappers? They say, what I heard was, I say, okay, if you agree that you will prefer police to be on that point than for kidnappers to be on that point, please go back to your seats. And all 5 of them went back to their seats. That defines what I'm trying to say. Who do you choose? Do you prefer to wine and dine with armed robbers or with the police? The answer is very glaring. That is what makes police our friend. But people want to look at the other side. In every organization there are moles. Police is not exempted. In every organization there are moles. We are looking at the medical, the health sector, the educational sector, even the power sector. I don't want to start criticizing other agencies of government, but there is a fault somewhere that is rubbing up on all of us. It's not just the police, it's a systemic issue. But let's not forget that Rome was not built in a day. That standard of policing we are looking for, the one that is operating in the US and other developed nations, it will come to Nigeria one day, but the time is not yet here. We are in a process, we are working on it. I always tell people, if you want the police to behave like an American police, you as a Nigerian, are you behaving like an American citizen? The answer is no. That is what is wrong. You see, we are all one and the same. We have the same blood flowing in our veins. That is what you are saying. However, the police is your friend. The truth is, say, we don't really have a choice. We don't have a choice because during the aftermath of EndSARS protest, I was to go to Benue. I always cite this instance. As a policeman though, I was to go to Benue for a wedding. I'm telling you, it took me 1 week to agree whether to go or not to go because policemen were not on the road. I knew the importance of policemen being on the road. And most of our learned citizens, they don't feel safe when policemen are not on the road. So that defines why police are our friend.
Okay, now I agree with you. If policemen are not on the road, there is going to be serious security threat. On that area, I give the kudos. But come again. Look at, if you drive, not you now, we, the other citizens now, from Okpanam, maybe in the evening, from Okpanam to Abraka Junction, or from Masabaya, you are going to Kwale or Zoro. On one's hand, they are doing well on the area of security. But the way they handle these people on the road, drivers, keke, riders, that is one reason why they say police. To them, they are finding difficult relating with the police freely. Stopping keke man or car rider that carries 1 or 2 persons, they will stop them. We see them, and then almost half of the money they get, they collect it from their hand. This is a challenge. How do you look at that?
It is indeed a challenge, and while we have internal mechanisms to challenge some of this, to checkmate some of these excesses of our men, there is an underlying factor that we are not looking at. 80% of the keke riders you see on that road, 80% of them don't have particulars of that keke they are riding. More than 80% don't even have authority to drive, driver's license. I'm not saying we are heading them. I'm just letting you know that he who gives and he who collects are both guilty. Because the person who is giving knows why he's giving. Oh, park, bring your particulars. No particulars. I have had cases where somebody calls me and say, oh God, your men arrest me. What happen? They see me with Indian. Okay. And I will call the police. That matter you are investigating, I don't want to hear that you have collected any money. But please, if there is an offense, charge to court. In the next 5 minutes, my phone will not rest. Oga, what do you tell them now? They never want to make I beg them again, Oga. They say, will they go court? Are you afraid of going to court? You don't want to go to court. You don't want to stay away from crime. And you want your freedom at the same time. So these are what encourages corruption. I once had a call, I received a call from a young man who said, Oga, they said I should bring money for case file. May I tell them I will not give them anything for case file? I say, God bless you. If that guy was not insistent on what he wanted and he never knew his right, he wouldn't have called me. But today, if we come out and say, oh, these are police, that's the police command CROU numbers. Call these numbers. Do you know the response you get? If we call that, they go pick. They not go pick. Then when it happen, you will not be looking for who to blame. The immediate past area commander Ogili said it's only foolish person, I don't know if I'm permitted to use that language, that will hold a broom and complain that cockroaches are disturbing him. Because with your broom, you can eventually kill all the cockroaches. These CROU numbers are the broom to fight back corruption. But the major challenge is what I've just told you. People who are not clean are afraid of standing for their rights because they know that they have done wrong. For instance, the instance I just gave, you are caught with Indian. Oh, you want me as Edafe bride to say, leave him, let him go. So I will continue to aid you, continue to smoke your igbo and eventually run mad. And when I get to heaven, God will say this was my own contribution to somebody's death. I don't want to be responsible for that. However, they don't want to call because they know what Edafe bride stands for. If you are clean, why not? You see, I've had a situation whereby policemen will say, in fact, if policemen stop me, I park. Not until they recognize me, I don't stop giving them the particulars they request. If they say open my boot, I open it. But an average Nigerian in quote, not everybody, the moment they see police on the road, problem. Why? Because we don't want to do the basics. Our president said something when he was talking about Minister Wike. He said Nigerians are difficult people to manage. Nigerians don't want to obey the rule of law. If we say it's a lie, we're just deceiving ourselves. Have you been in a traffic where there's just a slight hold up and you see people start coming? In the end, they will block everywhere.
Yes, we've seen such.
You get? So that is one of our characteristics. And that is why I keep telling people it is not just a police thing. There was a day I went for a program at one of these military programs, and the guy said, I told the guy that police is a product of the society. The guy was so blinded by sentiment that he said the society is a product of the police. And I put the question in the hall and I said, please, police is a product of the society. Society is the product of the police. Which one is correct? So everybody sided with the police is a product of the society. So that's why you are seeing some of all these things that you are seeing. If you are clean, you really do not have anything to worry when you are
sorry, let me cut you in. Some of these people, when they stop them, we travel along the road almost every time, even we go around the road. When they stop them, some will say, these are my paper. But some of them will tell them, now paper will go chop. These are things we have seen on the road. Now paper will go chop. So when they say this thing, if I left with not knowing what to do again, like paper complete, every driving license, they are all there. Now this one will go chop. Now, and some, like what you said, in that case, they are supposed say they are not guilty. They are innocent of any charge that may have come against them. Now, they park their vehicle. Their papers are everything is complete. They park their vehicle there. But some of them are in a hurry to go to one place or the other. So, to save their time, and the officer are now allowed to go, what they do can take. Look at that now. See, they say that people go soon, they won't chop paper. You must find something before they will release you. Their papers are complete, everything is complete, but they will hold it down. You cannot leave. So, what do you do? What do you expect them to do in such a case?
Do you agree with me that for Nigeria to be great,
yes,
everybody must contribute their own quota?
Sure.
That includes standing for your rights. Nelson Mandela did not just become Nelson Mandela overnight. Nelson Mandela went to prison, came back, went to prison, you get?
Yes.
Freedom fighting, you don't get it at the comfort of your bedroom. That is one thing I want people to know. See, I read a book that said, if you don't lose something while trying to fight for what is right, then what you are fighting for is not worth it. Are you getting me? So if you are going to lose some of your time while trying to stand for what is right, there's nothing wrong with that. Edafe bride seated in this office today, I could have been elsewhere making millions, And people may never ask me, how are you getting this money? But if I want to be here to preach justice, because that is what I stand for, to preach justice, then I should be ready to make some sacrifices. That includes somebody coming to say, please, I want to offer you 250,000. My tenant is disturbing me. Just lock him up, put him in the cell Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, release him. Just the way you are seated here, that was how that man seated before me. He told me this, and I told him, Oga, keep your money. Call the tenant. He called him. The tenant came here, and that issue was resolved here. Without anybody being detained, nobody was oppressed. Even the landlord did not have to lose the money that he wanted to give to me. Are you getting me? So we must learn to make sacrifices. Like I'm saying, sacrifices. Some of us don't want to. Rome was not built in a day. The America you are seeing today was not always like that from inception. Nigeria will get there. It may take time. It may never be in our generation. But the fight has to start from now. You must stand on your feet and say, I want to do and stand for what is right.
Okay, now let's move to another part of it. Bail is free.
Sure.
Yes, but I'm afraid to agree with you, sir. Bail is free, bail, but I've not gone to a police station once, so I've not been arrested by anybody for any reason. But we have heard, that is where I'm standing on. We have heard, we have seen some friends who have been arrested and like that. Police say bail is free, but at the police stations, they charge them money. Pay this, pay this before they release you. They will detain after that, pay before they release them. How do you relate bail is free and those money they pay?
Bail is free, 100%.
So,
I will insist on that. And you see why it looks like I talk too much is because I try to touch every angle when I'm trying to give a brief. And you discover that I have said, when you want to fight for your freedom, it does not usually come on a platter of gold. But here is the challenge. You are caught within the iron, or you assaulted somebody and give that person a broken head. You are now afraid that, oh, I'm in the station on a Friday. I'll be in the cell Saturday, Sunday, and Monday before I am charged to court. What should I do to get out of this mess? Now you are an interested party. The corrupt policeman is an interested party. When our interests don't align. That is what is causing all these things. A lot of persons may not want to agree. I have seen and witnessed persons who have gone on bail for free. Completely
without
free.
paying a dime.
Without paying a dime. I will explain how. You must know your rights. One, you must arm yourself with our complaint response unit phone numbers. You should have my number. You cannot call me and say, they arrested me at a Sapele division and I have been here for 3 days. Now they want to release me. They say I should bring 200,000. And that DP will still collect that money. It's not possible. But what do I mean fighting for your right? The mechanisms that you will use to fight for your right, you must have them. But like I said, if not that I don't want to be operating for while doing this, I can go to my handle where I pasted control room phone numbers and our complaint response unit phone numbers. And you see here people are asking, if I call, they go pick. If I call, they go pick. As I'm speaking with you now, we are working on each police station having an emergency call number. That is what we are working on. Between this week and next week, it will be pasted online so that people can call this division direct when they are having issues. If the police is not interested in transparency and justice, we will not be doing all these things. The police remains, I keep saying it, the only organization. I can be proven wrong. I'm waiting to see that organization that has publicly paraded their policemen for corruption. It is only the police. No other agency have done it. I don't want to mention names of agencies, but no other agency. Maybe they are doing it internally, but the police remain the only agency that will do it and make it public. Just on Sunday, yes, it was on Sunday, the video that trended where some policemen were assaulting somebody at midwifery. We brought them here, paraded them, and they are still in the setting now. or the trial had already commenced, the supervising officer issued query. It is only police that does this. But how do we do this when you go to the police station, they say bring money, you give them money and you go to your house and start complaining? The authority that will punish erring police officers, you refuse to bring their complaint to them. Now if people come to you as a pressman and tell you, I went to A division and they collected money from you, your interest as a pressman is to make the news. But how does that solve the problem when you've not been able to isolate a particular policeman that you will deal with? Cases are usually streamlined to a person, a place, a time. You get? But when you just say, oh, they do me this thing, you are not mentioning a name. Like when they were saying, oh, somebody, the police are harassing us for indecent dressing, you are not giving a name of either the victim or the policeman or a place. Or what news will that? So it will not help us. But the news will trend for some time, and in the end, nothing changes. So these are the challenges. If you know you are clean, I always use that word clean because Edafe Bright and the CP data say does not hate criminality. If you know you are clean and you are being unnecessarily harassed, extorted, call on us. Now, I'm not saying if you are not clean, you should be extorted. What I'm saying is that if you are not clean, you should be ready to face the consequences. You can't eat your cake at the same time have it. If you know you are not clean and they arrest you, request. You can get a lawyer to request that you be charged to court under 24 hours if wicked no enter. Because most of the challenge we're having is this Friday, Saturday, Sunday to Monday. The police were always there. We have numbers to call, and I believe at the end of this video I'll call those numbers. Just my office, up of my office here, we have 4 personnel there with 4 different phone numbers ready to answer phone calls. But let me tell you the truth, in a whole day we don't receive up to 3 calls. People rather torment Edafe Bright with calls, and only Edafe Bright cannot do the work. That is why we have what we call division of labor.
Okay, now PPRO, bail is free. You have explained, but who should enforce it? Let me use the language. Who should enforce it? Is it the police that should make it work, or the ordinary person that is arrested?
Both ways. It goes the same way. See, in a sane society, the person who offers bribe gets punished. The person who takes gets punished.
No, that means the money you pay for bail is bribe.
Obviously, it's obviously a bribe. It's obviously a bribe. Like I just gave you instances. You are arrested for doing something, but you don't want to sleep inside cell. Are you getting me? Oh, if I not give them this money now, they go put me for sale. It's obviously a bribe, whether intentional or coerced. Bribe is bribe. If you give, don't forget that there is a saying, I am responsible for my actions. You are responsible for your reaction. If I slap you and you carry gun and shoot my enemy, not me, the fact that I slap you is immaterial. That one and me go take responsibility for slapping you. You go take responsibility for shooting me. You understand? So if you say, oh, because the police make I give them money, that's why I gave them money. You are responsible for how you react to the actions of a policeman. So it's one and the same. You that gives and the person that collects, now the same offense. Now you tie the both of you now. However, it is the police that enforce. If you believe you have been unjustly extorted, which we do, that is why we are here. If you have been unjustly extorted and you keep it to yourself, how do we solve this problem? We end up not solving any problem. I have had cases where people will call, your policemen just stop me, oh, they just do the other and they just collect 500,000. Okay, please call me on social day or come and see me or go back to that point. From a distance, just take a video if you are afraid of, Oga, no worry, now, not be 500,000. No worry, Oga, I don't want their problem. How do we solve the problem? So it's not just police responsibility alone. The public has their role to play. The authority of the police also have our own role to play.
Now, what are the requirements for bail? Just say you want to bail somebody now. Now that you have removed the issue of bail is free, let's assume it's settled. What are the requirements for somebody to be bailed from a police station?
Okay, that's why I've always been careful with that particular statement, bail is free. Because if I try to say it's not free, listeners will not listen to the entire statement. They will just crop that part. So that's why I'm not using that statement. But bail is usually not unconditional. There are always conditions. Conditions may include a reliable surety, which is at the discretion of the IPO. They can say a civil servant, not less than level 14, or a landlord or a person that has a landed property. These are conditions that should be met for bail to be granted. These are lawful conditions, just like it is applicable in court. But there are no financial obligations when it comes to bail while in police custody.
Now, what do you think can be done to improve relationship between police and the citizens outside?
Okay, we do that every day. Like tomorrow now, we'll be having the monthly press SPO's conference where the Commissioner of Police will talk to officers of the command, DPOs, tactical commanders, area commanders, and they in turn will go back and talk to them. Most of the things we say, just like the IG always say, is community-friendly policing, people-friendly policing. That is what we are hoping to achieve. And that is why if you go online, you will see that we are now communicating with the public. They talk, we talk. They talk, we talk. If they talk what is wrong, we counter them. If they are right, we will take up their complaint. But the truth is that generally, I believe the Delta State Command has a very good relationship with the community. We should not look at selected cases generally, because our crime fighting strategy rely deeply on our relationship with the community. If we don't get information from the community, we will not be able to do anything. So we have good relationship with them, apart from these selected cases on the road. However, I have had cases where policemen who did not recognize me did not harass me. I have had cases where policemen who did not recognize me will just say, open your boot, bring your particulars, and
you
go. Yes. I'm telling you. And often times I'm usually not alone in the vehicle. So witnesses are there to say, I did not recognize you. I will not say, but why was I not harassed? We have high rate of young guys who are into one form of crime or the other, particularly the business of internet fraud. And that is what has increased these cases of, oh, police are harassing me, because the policeman feels that, oh, this person has skeleton to hide in his cupboard. The person who is coming believes that, oh, because I have skeleton to hide in my cupboard, these people are my enemies. So they are already like this. Even before they get there, the quarrel don't start. That is what I have hardly had cases where responsible, law-abiding citizens, maybe like civil servants, bankers, call me. Most of the calls I get are from boys who drives vehicle of 40, 50, 60 million and cannot really explain how they got the vehicle. 80% of the calls I get are from boys like this. That is the truth. But that does not justify any form of harassment. That is why in the case of that video that I just made reference to, up to the point where somebody walked down and slapped the guy, the police had not done anything wrong. They were only trying to arrest the guy for a reason that was not stated in that video. However, they had already taken custody of the guy, and another policeman came and slapped. That was what made their actions undefendable. You get? So we are friendly, very friendly now, because if we are not, they will not even tag me to that video. And if we are not friendly, we will not react and punish. When I mean punish, they were standing here before me, they were standing before the CP. We paraded them like criminals. Apart from that, I did not call the press to come and cover it. So with these days, we're actually operating a very high-level community-friendly police.
Okay, that I will soon show that. We have about 2 or 3 questions to go. Now, so some weeks or months back, there was so much crisis of crime in the state. Kidnapping,
which I do not agree.
Oh, sorry for that, but let me say so. Abraka, Okpana, Isiluku, where Ubuluku, those community were
I would like references. You know when you say so much should be so much.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
10 incidences is not so much.
Agreed.
Even 20 cannot be quantified as so much.
Okay.
So that's why we have to be careful with escalation. There are times we exaggerate, we inflate figures to get catchy audience. Like when there was a time this church collapsed at Okpanam Road, Salvation Ministry.
Yes.
We recorded 3 deaths, and one of the major national dailies said 30 persons feared dead. Oh, because we say feared dead, they are not confirmed dead. But an average Nigerian who is reading it, to him,
that fear that don't deal with it dead.
So that's why I'm saying, if you want to say there are so many, as you see, I've already carried my barrel and paper. I want to record how many there are, of which you will not be able to prove that they are actually so many.
You are very right here. We're hearing that time there were issues in Abraka, Abavu, Ubuluku kidnappings. But for some time now, there seems to be like on a level of silence.
Okay.
Silence in the sense that for some weeks or months, let me say some weeks back now, we've not heard of such issues. So I feel like, let me know what transpired, what happened, what did police do?
That's because we are doing what we call intelligence-led policing, and we are just picking them. There was a week where we got over 12 suspected kidnappers between Anambra, Ogwashuku, and Iseluku. 12. In fact, when the realtor was kidnapped and murdered at Ibuzo, and they protested to the headquarters, we told them that the blood of that girl will fight for justice. And I guarantee them that we will get those people. It was just 2 weeks after we got them, and I issued a statement to that. So while Delta State is becoming peaceful, it's down to the fact that we are really working on our intelligence-led policing, picking them. We are picking them. See, I have yet to be published stories. In fact, I pick. As I'm speaking with you, I have a statement of arrest of about 4 suspected kidnappers, recovery of 2 pump-action gun and 1 AK-47 rifle that I have yet to publish. Just 2 weeks ago, we have about 7 suspected kidnappers who were arrested with and recovered 5 million naira ransom. We also have the other one where we recovered, I think, 4 AK-47 rifles. We have made a lot of recovery at Ugele thanks to the CP Special Assignment Team. So we cannot be recording so much successes and crime will be on the increase. No, it will definitely drop, and that's why it's dropping.
That is correct. I think with that, the police in Delta has really done so well in that direction. But before I shut down, let me say this. The police force has really arrested and prosecuted and tried some of these people that do brutality, especially on the highway, like the issue you talk about at that hospital road. But despite these videos trends, even from the force headquarters, we see the reports they do. But some of these young men, they still brutalize people despite this arrest and prosecution. Why do you think they seem involved in those things?
Because we are Nigerians. Why does Nigerians still break law? You can't leave one and forget about the other side. How come people are going to prison on daily basis? People are still committing crime. People are going to prison on daily basis. We are still getting. Just yesterday, I paraded the suspect that defiled a 7-year-old girl. Yet there are a lot of defilement suspects who are presently in prisons. So you can't eradicate all this abnormality in every sector of the world. That's the truth. So if I tell you, say, oh, there is guarantee that, no, it's not possible. See, I'm not the type that just come and speak English. I always tell people I'm a realist. Somebody once said, I think I went for a program, the person said, am I trying to say that, what was it, a protest? There was one interview I granted there. Say, am I trying to say, I think it was a radio program, am I trying to say that the police, the police when they say children were missing in Agbaro, and I now told them, it was Arise TV, that a news center that was interviewing me, I now told them that parents should watch their children, because police cannot be everywhere at the same time. The lady now said, are you trying to say that police cannot protect these children? And I said, you want me to speak English and tell you that police can protect? We cannot protect everybody. It's not possible, because I cannot be in your house and be at his house and be at his house at the same time. So if Nigerians who are aware that there are a lot of prisoners in prisons, they are still committing crime, you cannot say, oh, why are policemen still misbehaving when we are dismissing a lot of them? It's one and the same. We are all Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Edafe, right? I think you have spoken a lot. You have told us why police should be our friend and how we should relate well with them as citizens of Nigeria. At the same time, you've told us that Nigerians should fight for their rights. Not that when they are stuck on the highway and then for within a few minutes of interaction with police officers, they just give them money and they go. No, for you, as far as you are concerned, Nigerians should say no. As far as they are not guilty and when they are innocent, they have their papers to them, they should stand and say no and possibly report to their headquarters, and then so that issue can be taken up. And then you have told us that even when somebody is arrested, they should also not just pay money to police in the name of bail. They should also defend their rights when they are not guilty also. I think you have done so much. Thank you very much. And you have told us what police has done to bring peace to the state. That's a commendable one. So for this, we shut down here. Thank you very much.